It was weird, and it was not a great football game. The Steelers must have dropped 10 passes that would have ended up blowing out the Ravens. The Ravens are complaining that they didn't have enough time to practice, yet it's their fault that they didn't have enough time to practice. They didn't contain it right. I give the Ravens a lot of credit. You know, they hung in there, man. They just hung in there, and because of the Steelers' inability to hold on to the football yesterday, I mean, it just kept the game close. The fact that McSorley gets in at the end of the game and
throws a touchdown
pass. You know. Here's the thing,
and covers the spread.
Is he going to become, the Baltimore Ravens version of Taysom Hill?
Trace McSorley?
Yeah. He's not as big.
I don't know.
He's not as big, but you know what? He got out there and he did something. You know what I mean?
I suppose. I don't know. It was such a small sample size that he throws the ball up there to Hollywood Brown. He catches it. It's man coverage. Hollywood Brown squirts away from the defender and runs for a touchdown. Can I now say that Trace McSorley is going to be some sort of weapon for the Ravens? I don't think so.
Dude, it was 1,000 times better than RG3. I mean, RG3 was just awful. Yeah. And then, of course, he pulls a hamstring, and then he complains after the game like, look, dude, you don't normally practice anyway. You're the backup quarterback. You get very few reps in practice. So you should be ready for something like this. And he was brutal.
Yeah.
He was absolutely brutal.
I heard a cut from him after the game where he was like, I know we're not supposed to talk about injuries, but I pulled my hamstring. And I'm like, just shut up, will you?
He just doesn't get it. Still hasn't gotten
it. This is exactly. That's the first thing I thought of. Is after all these years, and he was humbled, and there was issues with him, and all the Dan Snyder and him, and the locker room hated him, and all this stuff, and we had heard good things about this version of RG3 being the backup there in Baltimore, and how the team did like him, and him and Lamar Jackson got along, and then he has this miserable performance in this game where he gets a shot, and I understand that the Ravens were shorthanded, and they were 10.5-point underdogs, and it was a weird spot for them. But, at the end of the game, don't be talking about you. It's not about you, RG3. It really isn't. And your stupid hamstring, nobody wants to hear that stuff. But whatever. It's really not about them at this point. It's about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they have issues. And I know that they have not. There's a point where, we're looking up in a season and we still have an undefeated team in December. But they can't run the ball. They think they lost Bud Dupree to an ACL last night.
Oh, they did.
Yesterday.
They did.
Which is
huge.
Brutal for them.
That's a huge player for them.
Yeah, absolutely horrible. So, I mean, and Marquise Pouncey missed the game. He was on the COVID list, you could tell. And James Conner didn't play yesterday as well. Them beating the Kansas City Chiefs right now, and I would like to see it because it makes my family happy.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. And I know the Chiefs have had some games that have been close, and they've lost the game, and the Steelers have not.
But they're always going to put up between, they're going to score 30 points every game.
How are you going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs when you have zero run game?
And you have lost one of your better pass rushers, too. That's another thing. By the way, you trimmed the side of your head?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I tuned up the mullet yesterday.
I see that.
Tuned it up. I think it looks
your
great.
Temples are either one too tight or your temples have gray hair in them.
Oh no! Did not go too tight. Are you kidding me? This is beautiful.
But I'm just saying, your temples, is that gray hair? Or
no.
I can't tell if you want too tight.
No, that's short. That's not gray.
It's a little tight.
Yeah. No, that's what I wanted, man.
Right.
I think it's tremendous. I've gotten so many compliments on this tightening up of the mullet today already. And
I mean, you've gotten a lot of compliments. You've seen 3 people.
Well, yesterday too, I had it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Well, one of which was our makeup artist. She would know. She wouldn't lie to me.
And what did she say?
She said
she would lie to you. She definitely would lie to you.
She said, I loved it.
Okay.
She said it looked great. So, I mean, I think this is what everybody wanted. The people who...
I'm just something it's a little startling.
Why is it...
Well, it's just because it's significant. I mean, it's a significant movement.
It is.
This
is a double down is what this is.
But I think it's I don't know. It's you have gray hair there. Most of us who get older, we do have around our temples. We do have gray.
It's not gray. It's the fact that his skin underneath is not as tan because it hadn't been covered.
All right, so can you do something about that?
No.
In the summer.
Yeah, I'm not doing.
No, I think that's gray.
It's not gray.
I'm telling you, I think it's gray. Let me see.
It's not gray, man. It's because of the fade.
I'm not going to get close to you for but maybe 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's not gray. It's the fade. Plus, you got to remember, I got the makeup on too. Right. See? You see it, Boom?
No, That's gray.
It's not gray.
That's definitely gray.
You're out of your mind. It's not gray.
It's all right.
It's not gray.
I think it's gray.
All right, you can think that it's gray, but it's not, because you got to remember, this would be it would have been gray before with all the hair. It's not gray underneath. It would have been all gray hair.
Al, what does it look like on a Zoom call?
Well, my Zoom call is it's very tiny, so it's hard to tell.
It's not gray.
I do love the look, though. It really has enhanced the mullet.
All right, do you have your TV on there, Al?
I do not.
Maybe you want to turn your TV on so you can see what's on TV.
It's because of the low fade in the skin. That's what I'm telling you. You have to trust me on this. That's not gray hair. That's what it is, and that's the look.
All right.
I'm telling you. This is a double down.
I mean, you're starting to look more and more like Jaromir Jagr by the day when he was with the. Remember when he was with the Penguins?
Yeah, I showed my barber yesterday that particular picture because he had not seen that.
You showed your barber.
I didn't say give me that because it's impossible because he had so much hair on top and hair down the back. I just said, this might be the end game picture, just so you know. And he said, wow. He said, I'd never seen that before. That's unbelievable. So he is all in. And he called yesterday our haircut part of the journey, which I thought was great. He goes, when I started this journey with you,
yes,
I didn't know that you would take it this far. And I just wanted to give you credit for that. And you've inspired other clients of mine. And he said, I really didn't think that we'd be here today, but I'm so happy that we are.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
It's a journey, and this is something that only people and their hairstylists could truly feel like the impact that you're having.
That's right. Yes,
and that's why. What's his name? His
name is James Ricciardo.
So James, is on a journey with you.
The journey, yeah. We started this journey together,
right? Yes. And it's his world. He lives in it every single day, and he has clients.
He does, yeah.
Probably has, a couple hundred clients, you think?
Yes, easy. Right, yeah.
And he's not a super cutter or anything, is he?
No. Okay. No, he runs his own operation. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. Yes, and he also teaches hair cutting and hair styling and barber shopping, if you will, at the local trade school at BOCES. So that's how much of an expert that he is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I still think it's a little gray, but
it's not gray. You have to get away from that because those are not the facts. That's fake news. Said it's not gray. What it is it's a fade, and it is lighter too because there's also the makeup issue on the face, which is darker, but I can guarantee it's not gray.
Okay.
That's for sure. That's skin. If you like to, you can't touch it. If you put a glove on, you could touch it. But we're in the middle of a goddamn pandemic here.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
You can't touch my head. But I walked out of there thrilled with a new sense of confidence. I really did.
I like the guy. I like the fact you have confidence, but it's noticeable. I'm just telling you, it's
that's the point.
Yeah, I understand.
I got a haircut, and I'm doubling down on it.
And you be you.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. I do think you have to admit that with this part of it and getting it cleaned up and the mullet being more pronounced this morning, this is a far better look than when the sides and the top were long.
There is no question that you look great. You look great.
Far better look than what I had yesterday.
You trimmed up the beard. The beard is trimmed up. You're not shaggy at all. I mean, you can tell that you've done something about it.
Yeah.
And it's just, for me, like, I didn't know you were doing it. So when I first see you, it's like, wow.
Well, here I am.
You did something.
Right. So nobody, the calls, nothing, the tweets. Like I said, it was polarizing. It was about 50-50. People loving it, people hating it. Pushing the chips in the middle of the table with this.
Hey,
really
Boomer,
what I'm doing.
If you want an expert opinion on the gray hair, Allie is here.
All right, Allie, well, pull the microphone there close to you, please. It looks like it's gray hair to me, and if it's not gray hair, he's saying that it's his really white skin.
It is, and it's the way the barber faded his hair.
Yeah, see? There you go.
So can we fill in that white skin so it doesn't look so white?
Yeah, I can get some Topic product. It sprays on some hair fibers.
No, I don't want to spray in hair fibers.
That is the look.
That's the look.
That's the look right there.
Yeah.
Sal has it, too.
Yeah, see?
Oh, Sal, your husband has it?
Well, fiance, they had to push back the wedding.
No, she got married.
She did not get married.
Yes, she did.
Wait, you got married?
Yeah.
I thought that
there's no wedding. Pushed back, but we legally got married.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, congratulations.
Thank
this whole
you.
time I'm thinking that
I wasn't really announcing it, I guess, until now.
Well, you got a microphone. There you go.
I didn't know that. Congratulations to you and Sal. I wish I would have known.
Thank you.
Well, look, it's a legally binding contract. You got it. I don't care. So your friends know, right?
Yes.
I mean, your family knows.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it wasn't like I was.
Well, I just knew
you guys always think I'm blurting things out to get people.
I didn't know. I just knew that she had a date in April. And we were talking about how they might have to push it back again.
Right. But she got married.
Right. Okay. I didn't. I was like, I got scared. I was like, did I not go to the wedding? Like, I know that we were invited.
Got retracted.
Right. I was like, I know that Gina and I were invited to the wedding. Did I somehow screw that up? I got scared there for a second.
So there's really nothing that we should do with his head then.
No, I like it.
Right.
All right.
That's the way it should be, man.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Al. I appreciate it. She's the expert. If she says so, then okay, I'm with it, I guess.
You got to trust
It's just that it's like really pronounced.
Well, yeah, it is. This is what it is, man. This is the, hey, I'm putting my mullet flag in the ground.
And you have.
And I have. So, yeah, you're either all in. You know, you taught me, Boomer, that you got to be an all-in guy.
That's right.
And you can't be half-assed in anything. And I remember, when I first met you, when we first worked together, that resonated with me. But then it was last year about this time that it really resonated with me when you took a hammer to the Christmas decorations
that we don't have this year.
You said, I hate when people half-ass things, and you destroyed our set with the Christmas decorations because you believe that someone had half-assed the effort into.
Did you agree with me, though?
I did. And you really took it to that level. So at that point, it really hammered the point home that you can't be on the fence. You're either in or you're out. I can't be a half mullet man. I am pushing my mullet chips into the middle of the table. I am doubling down on the mullet this morning.
All right, so if that's the case, then I'm like I told you, you need to be you.
Yeah, I am. This is great. And
whatever makes you feel comfortable about being you, then you got to do it your way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
goes for everybody too, by the way.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's not just actors and actresses and people who want to tell us what their love life is all about.
Sure.
I mean, it's about the way you wear your hair, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you eat,
just the aura of me,
the way that you don't do anything other than boating. I mean, that's who you are.
Hey, family in the show. Those are the things.
I like it.
Those are the two things.
And this is kind of like the Yankees. Are they all in with Gary Sanchez, or are they not all in? I mean, like they tendered him. But that doesn't mean that they are going to keep him on the team.
Right. It's not like tendering him one of these NBA contracts.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not like they tendered him a $45 million a year contract for a year, or 2 years, $86 million like LeBron James got, whatever.
Well, LeBron James deserves that.
No, you know what I'm saying,
yes.
though. I'm just using that as a reference point. Of course he deserves. He's one of the few people in the world that deserves
no
that
matter
type of
where
contract.
he goes to play basketball, people are buying tickets to see it or watching it on TV.
I could make a case that he's underpaid, actually, at 2 years and $86 million, whatever it may be. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that the Yankees, with the financial stuff we had heard about, even though this wasn't a big number, the fact that they had failed the last couple of postseasons, he was a non-factor in those games. He had lost his starting job. I did think that there was a chance, and a better than 50% chance, that they would move on from Gary Sanchez, but they have always, I think, thought about him going somewhere else and turning into the player that they always believed he could be. And I think that scares the hell out of him.
Yeah.
And they've always had his back.
Well, Brian Cashman did name him the Kraken, right?
That's for sure.
So you would think that there is a soft spot in Brian Cashman's heart for him for some reason. Maybe it was because of that first year that he had in the 3 months that he was here, and it was just a incredible run. It was kind of like a Jeremy Lin run, if you ask me.
Sure.
And it's been kind of downhill ever since, and it's gotten worse. And last year during the pandemic was just brutal. But depending on who you believe and who the scouts are and everything else, $5 million doesn't seem like too much of a risk for the Yankees, especially if they want to move him or get rid of him and trade him in training camp. If he doesn't show any significant improvement, they can do that. So it's a relatively safe number. The other thing, too, is that, the Steven Matz number for the Mets is a safe number, too.
Well, it's Steve Cohen, so.
Right. It doesn't matter.
Could have been $100 million.
It could have been $100 million. This is why, now, the interesting thing is going to be DJ LeMahieu. And there's a nice article written today. I forget, I don't know if it was Joel Sherman who wrote it or David Off wrote it. Somebody wrote it.
David Off had a Sanchez article, so maybe it was Sherman.
I don't know who, but somebody wrote it about, what they believe the Yankees should give DJ LeMahieu. 4 years, $88 million with a fifth year.
I actually think that was David Off from a couple of days ago.
And then a fifth year for $25 million. And if I'm the Mets, I'm like, screw this, man. I'm just going to give him 4 years, $100 million, get him in here, let's go. and let's stop screwing around here. I mean, if you're the Yankees, I believe you actually have to pay him for what he's already given you, because what he gave you far exceeded every dollar that you gave him. You know, you gave him, what, about $14 million a year or $10 million a year, whatever it was. It was $24 million, I think. It was 2 years, $24 million. You know, he gave you a $24 million a year performance, and you only paid him $24 million for 2 years.
Sure.
So, you know, here's a guy that if I'm the Yankees, this is a guy that I would overpay for because of what I've already received from him. Now, if you're the Mets, you want a guy like that on your team for a couple of reasons. One, because of his baseball acumen and because he's a winner and because he'll raise the level of everybody else on the team, and he'll give you an all-star performance. And two, it's a shot fired across the bow of the mighty Yankees.
Sure. Me and you, we see this thing differently. I would be completely and utterly floored if DJ LeMahieu didn't end up with the Yankees. Floored. So it almost seems like these conversations about him going elsewhere, especially going to the Mets, seems to me like an exercise in futility, that it's just not going to happen. But I will give you all the credit in the world if he goes elsewhere, especially to the Mets. I will bow to you. It'll be a Boomstradamus moment. I will say, I don't know how I didn't see this, but I can't see him going. So, like, the way I felt about Garrett Cole being a Yankee last offseason
is how you feel about DJ LeMahieu staying with the Yankees.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
I understand that. But, you know, there's a new sheriff in town. And, you know, look, he would be an unbelievable fit for the Mets, especially with Robinson Cano now gone. And I don't really care what happens with Robinson Cano. I'm talking about filling a void, and I know we could put Jeff McNeil there if you want. But you're talking about a guy that can do so many different things for your team, plus raise the level of the team. Think about that.
Sure.
And to me, a guy like that in the locker room is the most important thing. And he may be one of the lucky guys because Steve Cohen is involved. His agent has got to get Steve Cohen involved. He's got to.
Well, you better at least check on it. Unlike the Knicks, who apparently had a lot of interest in Fred VanVleet, heard that there was, he was staying with the Raptors and never even called his agent or talked to him. Like, I understand that the chances were very, very slim of him leaving Toronto, but at least check in on it. Just check in, give a phone call, see what's going on. They better be doing that with DJ LeMahieu at the very least.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.